Guilty of all charges. A Minnesota jury convicted Aimee Bock of being the mastermind behind a scheme to defraud the government out of $250 million during the pandemic. Bock founded Feeding Our Future, an organization aimed at feeding hungry children in Minneapolis. But the Justice Department says instead of using COVID-19 relief funding for its intended purpose, the group pocketed the money and recruited dozens of others in the largest fraud scheme against pandemic programs. 70 people were charged, including Bock. Salim Ahmed Said, the owner of a local restaurant and program sponsor of the nonprofit, was tried as Bock's co-defendant. The jury found Bock guilty on 7 charges, while Said was convicted on 21. Both faced prison sentences for wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy, and bribery involving federal programs. During the trial, each co-defendant testified in their defense, maintaining their innocence against the charges. Prosecutors claim that as part of this scheme, Bock stole $2 million while Said was accused of pocketing $5 million. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz faced criticism for allowing this crime to happen under his leadership when it was exposed in 2023. However, he thanked the prosecutors, the FBI, and the USDA for presenting a case with strong evidence.
This is something that's obviously very close with me because I am furious about this. I have been from the beginning. These are criminals that preyed on a system that was meant to feed children. It was organized. They continued to lie about that.
The scheme allegedly invented fake meals for thousands of kids every day at various locations in Minneapolis, all funded by taxpayer money through the state's education department. This fraud took place under the federal child nutrition program run by the USDA, which provides free meals to kids in need. Across most states, the USDA directly funds state governments to administer this program, but in Minnesota, the State Department of Education handles it. The Minnesota Department of Education was found in contempt of court in 2022, 1 year before the scheme was exposed, for trying to cut payments to the nonprofit. The prosecution claimed that Feeding Our Future recruited food vendors and restaurants to falsely claim they were providing thousands of meals to kids during the pandemic. The participants inflated the numbers or just lied, pocketing the extra money. The FBI set up cameras to verify if restaurants like Said's were actually serving up to 6,000 meals as claimed on the forms, but the video evidence showed the numbers were far from the truth, with much less food reaching children. Before the pandemic, Bock and Said were key players in the program, collecting over $3 million in federal aid in 2019 and almost $200 million in 2021, including a cut for administrative expenses. In the first trial last year, 5 people tied to the scheme were convicted after an alleged attempt by the defendants and others to bribe a juror. 37 others avoided a trial by pleading guilty. Bock and Said will remain in state custody until their sentencing hearings, despite both defense attorneys arguing that they pose no threat to the public and should be given time to settle their affairs. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey. Find our previous coverage of this story on SAN.com or by downloading the Straight Arrow News mobile app.